guys, welcome to JC Transformation Strategies. Welcome to our Sunday upliftment. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys had a blessed week. And we just thank God that you survived and that you're living and that you are here today. We need to always appreciate small moments so that we can bring big blessings into our lives, okay? Right. Firstly, I'm going to give a shout out to all those who have celebrated their birthdays out there throughout this week. God's blessings over you. Hope you had an amazing time, okay? And those who have lost loved ones, deepest condolences to you at this time. Pray for God's comfort around you and the family. And if you celebrated whatever it is this week, as I say, even to be alive is small celebration, but it's big wins. Amen. So well done on that. Today's topic, guys, is going to be such an uplifting topic, especially it's also linked from Thursday's session that we did affirmations. So we're going to be looking at how being stuck in the past causes suffering today. How being stuck in the past causes suffering today. All right, we're going to look at the linkage because on Thursday we did affirmations, we broke chains of attachments, and we brought awareness of the past, okay? And we let go of all of that attachments that was clinging onto us. Because remember, when you attach yourself to the past, you bring about the suffering. So you need to let go of it, okay? So let's read a Bible scripture, 2 Corinthians 5, verses 16 to 17. So it says, so we have stopped evaluating others from a human point of view. At one time, we thought of Christ merely from a human point of view. How differently we know him now. So this means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone and a new life has begun. Right. There was another verse in Isaiah, but okay, we'll just hold on for that. But let's focus on one verse, okay? So we thank God for his word, that we know that when you are joining Christ, the old is gone, the new has come. But some of us is still clinging onto the past. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that when you cling onto the past, you are bringing the suffering that's happening today. So the past is affecting your present, and that's a big shame. The reason why I say it's a shame, because it's going to affect you and it will not allow you to get what you need to get in the future. All right. So when we look at the past, right, the past means the time, the events, the action that occurred before the present moment. So there were times like 12 o'clock in 1998, okay, and there were events that happened, all right, and there were action that was taken, like you've been to school, you've been to college, you started working, you got married, you had kids. All that's from the past, all right. Yesterday is also your past, okay, remember that. Now the past occurred, there was a memory, there was a record of things. Like if you do filing, or you go to the environment where you do filing and scanning of documents, you know that you have to scan your documents either in alphabetical order or whatever labeling system that you use, and you go back to it. So you go to 2018 record. So let's say now if you're working as a medical receptionist, I can pull out your information using your ID number, and I can pick up that in 2018 you saw Dr. Smith, and then in 2020 you saw her again, in 2024 you saw her again, and it also picks up like your blood test, etc. So everything is within the click of a button, okay? So you can retrieve all your past information, and that's how it is with your brain. You can retrieve your past life, your past record, and your past memories, all right, just like that. Some people can even retrieve memories that happened, let's say in 2022, 15th August 2022, and you even know what you did that day, right? Because your brain is so powerful. And some of us have like brains that are like really, really powerful, where you can remember birthdays, anniversaries, even of people you don't even talk to, which is like me. I remember everybody's birthdays and anniversaries, but as the years go by, like sometimes even that slips away. Like you look at what your focus is on, but it's good to have that memory. It's excellent. But the problem is that sometimes that memory can make you to cling onto the past events and to remember events of the past. So what happens now is that These memories are unchangeable. You cannot change what happened in the past, okay? These things happen. So you keep identifying who you are in the past than who you are at the moment. And you get so stuck up in that you forget who you are. So clinging to the past leads to psychological suffering. It leads to psychological suffering. You will suffer because of you actually holding on to the past. And that's the truth. You will suffer so much because you've been clinging on to the past. Okay? So anxiety, depression, stress, PTSD all comes from the past, not moving forward. All right, especially with PTSD, it's like the trauma response. So you've been through that trauma gets stuck in your head that even the trauma is over, but you feel like you're still in 2005, basically, because that trauma had an effect on you, yes, I understand. But you have to move on, all right? The thing is, clinging too much to it and holding on to the negative effects of it is actually affecting who you are now, because now you're actually healed. Now, let's say now you've been through that kidnapping, you've been through that hijacking, but you healed now. You're okay now. You survived, okay? But now you're still clinging on to that. Now, replaying those moments actually attaches you to the past, and attachment is a serious problem because it causes a lot of suffering, okay? So, it's like Paul in the Bible. I was just reflecting on, like, if he was still stuck and looking at how he persecuted the Christians and how he hated Christians and he didn't liked people, and he even, like, he was really really like mean towards Christians. And look at how now God transformed him, and literally most of the scriptures in the Bible Paul actually wrote. If you look at it, the apostle Paul wrote it. He wrote Philippians, he wrote Galatians, all right, he wrote Colossians, and the list goes on, and it's all from Paul. And God favored him, God chose him. Yes, he had a past, but God didn't look at that. He looks at where he is now. And if you look at it, if Paul was holding on to the past that bad, do you think he should have actually moved forward to write scriptures? I don't think so. He had to let go of that attachment to the past. He had to let go. Yes, he made a mistake. He asked God for forgiveness. God released him. He released himself as well in the process. Remember, forgiveness is a two-way thing. God releases you, your spiritual being releases you, but you got to release yourself as well. Because if you don't forgive yourself, there's no forgiveness at all. Right? It's a two-way street when it comes to forgiveness. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So whatever your situation is, don't let the past define you. Don't let the past control you. It happened. It's over. We thank you for the lessons. Thank you, past. Thank you so much. Okay, but I'm not holding on to you now. This is where I am at the moment. I'm not even looking at the future because, yeah, the Bible even clearly says, and all teachings actually clearly says, which is even including the Buddha teachings, that you must not look at the future that much, because why? It brings anxiety. It's out of your control. Don't cling too much to the future. Just, release it. Let go of the type first. Release that future. All right, releasing into the future realms. It's not yours to worry about. Yes, you can have dreams, vision, goals. Yes, that's good, right? But don't let your expectation alter your reality. That's something that I actually learned from life coaching. Okay, so yeah. Also, the past is an emotional stagnation. Do you know that? Your emotions get stagnated. Why? Because you don't think clear. You've been thinking of the past. You also cannot function very well. So you have emotional dysregulation because you're always attaching yourself to the past. Okay, you're always saying like, how I wish of those good old days, but I'm gonna go back to that. And then you like miss those days, and then you grieve those days. And yes, we all have those moments that we miss. Alright, even I grieve like certain days, like where I was. Okay, I grieve those moments. I wish that I could stay longer in a place, but I know that my time was only set for that time, and I had to move on. I had to inspire other people now. So yes, I worked in a beautiful place, but I couldn't let it be a stagnation in my life. So that's why that time period has ended. That's why you get contract jobs where the time ends, because you need to meet more, you need to explore more, you need to experience more in life. Okay, And then also, guys, the past, we don't want to become a prisoner of it. When you become in prison of something, it's like it's holding in chains. And a lot of people who are still stuck in the past is become prisoners of the past. You're still haunted by the past, okay? And it's very, very difficult for you to break through because you need to release yourself. You cannot be so stagnated into that. So you need to break free. Then you need to also rewire your thinking into saying that this is a lesson. This is not a penalty. Yes, everybody makes mistakes, but don't hold yourself so responsible that you forget how to move on and you become so endangered to the past. So whenever you look at the past, you're going to say, thank you so much for your lessons, but I'm moving on now. All right, I'm focusing on the future and where I need to be. All right, make sure you have that. Affirmations are so important, guys. It actually relaxes you more. So acknowledge the past, yes, whatever happened, journal your memories. What you can do, maybe you really love those moments that happen in your life, journal it. Get a diary, write it down. Okay, write it down, all those special moments, special people that you met. If you even remember the days, the time, the hour, write it down, okay? But I want you to focus on the present, okay? Now, also another trigger is the attachments that is actually leading to mental disorders. Okay, that's what I'm gonna just wrap up with. There's so many attachments that's actually stopping you from moving forward, and those attachments is actually causing you to not break through. I'm gonna say like basically now, let's say now you're attached to something. Okay, you're attached to this relationship. Okay, because I'm looking at an example, so I'm thinking, let's use this. You're attached to a relationship. You really love this person so much. You gave everything to that person. Your families all met this person. It was like oneness. It was like she's the world to me, or he's the world to me. And I could cross any bridges, I could cross any ocean, and she's my angel, she's my baby. But now things never work out. Alright, something happened. You guys had conflicts, it never worked out, and maybe one person was cheating or whatever. Now, what happened is that you still have an attachment to that person because you love that person. But if that person has already moved on, all right, that person has detached from you, but you have that attachment, and that attachment is imprisoning you, and you cannot move on. So it's causing you a blockage in your life, and you're still stuck into that, okay? And you need to break through that. You need to break free from that. Because if you don't break free, it's not just like you're not going to find another person, but it's going to block your whole entire life. It's going to block the way you trust people. It's going to block the way you react to people. It's going to block the way you respond to people. All right. So also, it'll alter your thinking. So you'll think that people cannot be trusted, or just because of a relationship, even you won't even trust your own family. Okay, so you will meet people in your life. Okay, this is for all the people seeking in relationship advice. You will meet people in your life. You meet the good, you meet the bad, you meet the ugly, you meet the most beautiful type. But not everyone is going to be on your boat. Okay, in your journey, there's a few that will be on your boat, few that will handle you. And sometimes most of the relationships are cut off. It's because God in the universe actually sees, is this person compatible to you? Will this person understand your emotions? Because remember, we are human beings. We are not 24/7 happy. Mm-mm. We're not 24/7 angry. And we're not 24/7 calm. Right? It takes a lot of guts to be calm. Like, for example, guys, I look like a really patient, kind person. Yes, I know I am. I don't know how I do it. I don't know. I'm telling you. But it took a lot for me to be this calm. Okay, it took a lot. There was raging anger, there was raging fire, and there was a lot of questions that I needed answers. And I used to always find myself in control of everything. And I always used to get upset and angry when things didn't work out my way. I even started blaming people, right? So I know where I'm coming from. And blaming others will not really change anything because, as I said to you, there's something that will occur, and then your reaction to it is the most powerful thing. And you cannot blame anybody because you blame yourself. because the way you reacted. So if somebody insulted me, I had the choice to accept it or just to ignore it. Right? I can absorb it or I can just observe it. There's a big difference. So you don't need to put yourself into the position that when somebody talks to me insulting, that they're talking about me. Because most of the people are talking from their own perspective, from their own insecurities, from their own fear. And then you put yourself like, oh no, why does she react like this? But if you look at it, she was actually hungry, or she either had a bad day, or she just had a breakup. And most of the issues come from them. So that is why I understood life, that just be calm about it. Just take a breather, just pause. And the best part of it, like especially when you're like communicating on your phone, you don't need to react to everything. Okay? Like to messages, especially like WhatsApp and Facebook. You don't need to immediately react. Right? Like that's how it is. Like just know yourself. Just be calm. Like we had an outbreak of monkeys in Richards Bay, right? In the KZN area. And there was just so much of monkeys in that area. And of course, I laid a complaint, okay? But then they said, no, you need to lay a complaint to a higher person. And I put it up in a group about, the outburst of monkeys because it actually came inside the house. And yeah, and it was so scary at the time because I was actually concerned about my dog as well. And the monkeys are so bad that they actually attack you. So people also, they know they're not allowed to feed monkeys, but people are still doing it. So I popped a comment there on a resident group and I said to them, you know what, I think actually the cause of it is people actually are feeding the monkeys. Not sure for what reason why, but the problem is we need to find solutions of how we can actually resolve it. Because we don't want it to attack people or, to attack small kids, things like that. And yeah, there were comments that were coming. But I didn't bother my time to actually go and check it. I just gave my part and that's it. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to waste my energy. And your mind is so powerful. Because of course we want to go check because we like drama. But then I was like, nah. As long as I gave my parts and they can see what they can do on that. So that's how life is. And life will humble you to be this way. So it's important not to be too attached to the past. And whatever people has done in your life, and yes, I'm really sorry that you are hurting at the moment, all right? But how long are you going to carry this? How long are you going to carry the weight of whatever happened in 2023? How long are you going to carry that burden that happened in 2024? If somebody hasn't forgiven you, let go of it. There's no point in carrying it today. Release it. That's what we did Thursday's affirmation, to release and to let go, because that is a chain that is holding you hostage. You are basically like, like human trafficking. You're like kidnapped at the moment to your past. And the only ways you're going to get out of that is for you to set yourself free. It's for you to affirm that it's over now and I'm done with this. Okay? And only you can make the difference. Remember that. So that's what today's message, guys, is for you to rewire and look at how has the past being stuck in it is actually affecting my present moment, and it's causing a lot of suffering. Because that is why you have no peace today, is because you're still holding on to it. But very good news I'm bringing to you guys, that it don't have to be this way anymore. You can conquer anything and you can move on. But how do you move on? You must be saying, guys, positive affirmations. Practice Thursday's coaching that we did on these affirmations about letting go. If you don't know the affirmations, go back to Thursday's neuro coaching and check it out. And then also, guys, you need to do your deep breathing exercises, detach from anyone, any situation that you know is going to be a bad in your life. Try not to replay conversations. Alright, even if somebody around you is talking about it and stuff like that, just try and distract your mind, put the music on. Don't hold on to these things. Okay, it's time for you to let go. Let go and let God in. Okay, thank you guys so much. I want you guys free from all psychological suffering. I know what it is, clinging onto the past, and it's time for you to let go. So let's close off with a meditation. Okay, so you're going to take a deep breath in. You're going to hold for 4. Sorry, you're going to take a deep breath in the count of 4. You're going to hold for 5 and you're going to release for 6. Okay, and then you're going to follow my affirmation. Okay, so take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I want you to hold for 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're going to exhale for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now I want you to say, I am disconnected from the past that has been haunting my life in the present. I am disconnected, okay? Disconnected from the past that has been haunting my life in the present. One more time. I am disconnected from the past that has been haunting my life in the present. Take a deep breath out. Okay. I am not in the past anymore. Thank you, past, for all your lessons. I am not in the past anymore. Thank you, past, for all your lessons. Even look at the past, like, as I'm looking. I am not in the past anymore. Thank you, past, for your lessons. I embrace the present. I embrace the present. Okay. And then breathe out. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Please practice, recite, okay, go over this. And you can even watch the video again. Remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share the video out. Touch many lives out there. And stay tuned to JesC Transformation Strategies for more inspirational videos coming up. And new content is also going to be coming up. It's going to be super exciting, okay? We're elevating the travel more. Also, thank you to all the subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a blessed week. Bye.